Chosen one, breathe for a second. I know you feel it. Not just in your mind, but in your spirit. Like something has been hovering around you lately. A pressure, but also a peace. A heaviness, but also a sacred confidence. And you keep telling yourself, maybe I'm overthinking. But you're not. Because what you're sensing isn't random. It's a sign. A sign that you carry something most people will never understand. And many will never qualify for. Chosen one. Only a few carry this level of kingdom clearance. And you're one of them. Now listen. I'm not talking about being better than others. I'm talking about being trusted by heaven in a way that requires a certain spiritual weight capacity. Because there are certain doors in the spirit realm, certain assignments, certain revelations, certain mantles, that God will not give to everyone. Not because He doesn't love everyone, but because everyone can't handle what comes with it. There are people who would misuse it, people who would turn it into ego, people who would trade it for applause, people who would run from it the moment resistance appears. But you stayed, even when it hurt, even when you cried, even when you felt alone. And today, heaven is making it clear. You are not just chosen, you are cleared. Cleared for deeper access. Cleared for higher authority. Cleared for restricted spiritual territories. And if you've been feeling different lately, like the way you think is changing, the way you see people is changing, the way your soul rejects certain environments now, it's because kingdom clearance changes what you can tolerate. So if you're ready, let's go deep. Because this message is going to answer the question you've been whispering in your heart. Why does my life feel so intense, even when I'm trying to live peacefully? It's because you carry clearance. Chosen one, let me explain this in a way you'll feel in your bones. Kingdom clearance means God has granted you access to levels of spiritual authority and insight that are restricted for most people. It's like heaven stamped your spirit with an approval code. Not because you were perfect, but because you were willing to obey when you didn't have answers, willing to be humble when you were misunderstood, willing to wait when you wanted to run ahead. Kingdom clearance is when God says, I trust them to carry this without corrupting it. I trust them to hear this without twisting it. I trust them to be blessed without becoming arrogant. I trust them to be powerful without becoming prideful. And chosen one, that kind of trust is not common. Because power without purity destroys people. But you've been through fire that purified you. You've been through betrayal that humbled you. You've been through silence that trained you. You've been through waiting that matured you. And that's why you're now walking into a season where you don't just receive blessings. You receive access. Access to secrets. Access to answers. Access to spiritual strategies. Access to divine timing. Kingdom clearance isn't loud. It's not a social media title. It's a spiritual status. You'll know you carry it because your life will be marked by two things. Unusual warfare. Unusual protection. And if you've experienced both, you already know. Chosen one. You didn't suffer because God forgot you. You suffered because God was building you. Most people think spiritual growth is just learning scriptures. No. Spiritual growth is being forged. Because kingdom clearance is not given to people who fold under pressure. It's given to people who can take hits and still keep their hearts soft. Some of you have been hit by betrayal from people you trusted, rejection from your own bloodline, sudden losses you didn't expect, seasons where you prayed and nothing moved, attacks on your identity and confidence, years of being misunderstood, and the enemy hoped you would become bitter, because bitterness disqualifies authority. The enemy wanted you angry at God, because anger blocks intimacy. The enemy wanted you to doubt yourself, because doubt makes you shrink. But you did something rare. Even when you felt broken, you still reached for God. Even when you were confused, you still tried to do the right thing. Even when you had every excuse to turn cold, you stayed tender. And that's why heaven said, "Give them clearance." Because you didn't just survive the storm. You kept your spirit clean inside the storm. Chosen one, that is spiritual royalty behavior. That is kingdom clearance behavior. That is, heaven trusts you behavior. Chosen one, listen closely. Because some of you have been living your whole life with this deep inner feeling that you're different. But you couldn't fully explain why. You've tried to blend in. You've tried to be normal. You've tried to relax. But your spirit won't let you live ordinary. Because what you carry is not ordinary. There is a spiritual access on your life, an invisible stamp heaven put on you, that marks you as someone trusted. And the evidence of it isn't only blessings. It's also how your soul responds to certain things. Kingdom clearance is like being granted access to restricted levels in the spirit realm. Some people can only stand in the outer courts of life, surface-level conversations, surface-level relationships, surface-level faith. But you're being invited deeper. And here's how you know. Chosen one, you can walk into a room where everyone is smiling. But your spirit is picking up something underneath the smiles. You can hear someone speaking nicely, but you sense the intention behind the words. You don't even want to be suspicious. You don't want to assume bad. But it's like your spirit has a built-in alarm system. And sometimes it confuses you because you think, why can't I just be like everybody else? Because everybody else isn't carrying your clearance. You are spiritually authorized to detect atmospheres. And here's what makes it even deeper. Your discernment doesn't come with hatred. It comes with clarity. You don't get joy out of being right. You actually wish you were wrong sometimes. But kingdom clearance causes you to see what others ignore. That's why people can't fool you for long. Not because you're hard to impress, but because your spirit has access to truth. Chosen one, this part is painful. Because it's not like you don't love people. You do. You care deeply. You forgive quickly. You want everyone to win. But there's something that keeps happening. Even when you try to stay connected, something forces separation. You try to build friendships, but they fade. You try to hold on to certain people, but it breaks. You try to fit into groups, but you feel spiritually suffocated. And you've asked yourself, why does God keep removing people from my life? Because not everyone is cleared to walk with you. Some people love you emotionally, but they can't carry you spiritually. Some people want access to you, but they don't honor what you carry. Some people want your energy, but they don't respect your assignment. Chosen one. Heaven separates what will contaminate. Not because those people are evil, but because their spirit frequency doesn't match your calling. And if you stay too long, they'll slowly drain your oil. So God pulls you away. Again, and again, and again. Not to punish you, but to protect you. Because you are cleared for higher things. Chosen one, be honest. Have you noticed something about your life? When you ignore your spirit, things feel heavy fast. When you force something God didn't authorize, you lose peace instantly. When you entertain a wrong environment, your mind becomes restless. When you go back to an old habit, you feel conviction immediately. And you used to think, God, why am I like this? Because higher clearance means higher sensitivity. Let me tell you the truth. Some people can live out of alignment for years and still feel fine. But you can't. Because the spirit in you won't let you settle in darkness. Your peace is your warning system. Your conviction is your protection. Your discomfort is heaven saying, chosen one, you're too authorized for this. This is why your life feels intense sometimes. Because God is not treating you like a casual believer. He's treating you like a carrier. Like an ambassador. Like someone with a government-level spiritual assignment. And when you carry clearance, you're not allowed to move sloppy. Chosen one. I need you to hear this without fear. The attacks you've faced are not because you are weak. The attacks you've faced are because you are valuable. You have been fighting battles that other people don't even believe exist. Battles in your mind. Battles in your emotions. Battles in your sleep. Battles with sudden delays. Battles with confusion attacks. Battles where everything was fine, then boom, chaos. And you're like, what did I do to deserve this? Nothing. You didn't deserve it. But you carry something. And darkness recognizes what's on you, even when humans don't. The enemy doesn't waste demons on people with no destiny. The enemy doesn't send resistance to people who aren't a threat. So when you're experiencing unusual warfare, it's because your clearance has triggered spiritual opposition. But here's the good news. High warfare is often a sign you're close to high reward. Because the enemy fights hardest. When your breakthrough is near. Chosen one. You've had moments where you just knew. You couldn't prove it. You didn't have evidence. You didn't hear anyone tell you. But you knew. You knew that person wasn't genuine. You knew that situation would shift. You knew something would happen before it happened. And later it unfolded exactly how you sensed. That's not luck. That's clearance. That's God showing you restricted information. Because some things can't be learned from the outside. They must be downloaded spiritually. God will whisper to you. And you'll feel it like a weight in your chest. Sometimes He doesn't even speak in words. It's a knowing. A sensing. A holy warning. A holy pull. And some people around you won't understand. They'll call you dramatic. They'll call you paranoid. They'll call you too spiritual. But chosen one, you are not unstable. You are sensitive to the Spirit. And that sensitivity is a gift that keeps you safe. Chosen one, this is one of the biggest confirmations. You've tried to blend in. You've tried to laugh at things everyone laughs at. You've tried to participate in what everyone does. But deep inside, something in you always feels like, this isn't me. This isn't home. This isn't my tribe. And it's not arrogance. It's not you thinking you're better. It's you being spiritually foreign to lower realms. Because you were not created for shallow. You were not created for fake. You were not created for cycles. You were created for purpose. So the world feels noisy. But your spirit craves depth. The world celebrates appearances. But your spirit wants truth. The world wants shortcuts. But your spirit wants righteousness. That's kingdom clearance. You're built for higher realms. Chosen one. You don't just feel guilty. You feel grieved. And there's a difference. Guilt comes from fear of punishment. But grief comes from love. Some of you feel heavy after doing something wrong, not because you're scared, but because you feel like you disappointed God. That is not weakness. That is spiritual maturity. That means your spirit is alive. That means you are connected. That means you are cleared. Because people without clearance can sin easily and sleep peacefully. But your spirit won't let you rest in darkness. And yes, it's uncomfortable. But it's also a sign that you're protected. You're not being controlled. You're being guided. Chosen one, this is deep. Have you noticed people react to you strangely? Some love you instantly. And some feel threatened instantly. Some respect you deeply. And some try to compete with you for no reason. Some get close to you. Then suddenly start acting weird. And you're thinking, what did I do? Nothing. But your presence carries truth. And truth reveals what people are trying to hide from themselves. Your light doesn't attack them, but it exposes them. And when people are not ready to face themselves, they will try to turn you into the villain. They will accuse you of being cold. They will call you arrogant. They will say you think you're special. But chosen one, they're not reacting to you. They're reacting to what they feel around you. Because your spirit is a mirror. And not everyone can face their reflection. Chosen one. God has delayed things in your life. And you didn't understand it. You cried about it. You questioned it. You begged for movement. But later you realized, if it happened earlier, it would have destroyed you. If it happened earlier, you would have chosen wrong. If it happened earlier, you would have trusted the wrong people. That delay wasn't denial. That delay was clearance protocol. Because higher clearance comes with higher timing. God doesn't release powerful things too early. Because premature blessing can become punishment. So He slowed you down. To save you. And yes, it was frustrating. But it was holy. Chosen one, no matter what happens. Something inside you refuses to quit. Even when you say, I'm done. Your spirit says, not yet. Even when you want to give up. You feel pulled back. Even when life hits you. You still dream. You still think about destiny. You still believe there's more. That's because the call is locked into you. Some people can abandon purpose and feel nothing. But you? Your spirit won't let you live small. Because you are cleared for assignment. Not just survival. Not just existence. But impact. And that call will keep burning. Until you obey it fully. Chosen one. If you felt this chapter deeply, it's because it's describing you. And today, heaven wants you to stop questioning your difference. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop shrinking to fit into places God never designed for you. Because the signs are clear. You're not crazy. You're not too much. You're not overthinking. You're not unlucky. You are cleared. You are authorized. You are trusted. And the reason your life has felt so intense is because your assignment is not small. So hold your head up, guard your oil, and walk like someone heaven recognizes. Because only a few carry this level of kingdom clearance. And you are one of them. Chosen one. Your biggest frustration has been this. People don't get you. You're not trying to be weird. You're not trying to be distant. You're not trying to be deep. But you notice things. You feel things. You see behind masks. You can sense spiritual atmospheres. And some people get uncomfortable around you. Why? Because when you carry clearance, you carry light. And light doesn't argue with darkness. It just exposes it. Some people don't hate you. They hate what they feel when they're around you. Conviction, discomfort, self-awareness. They feel seen, not by your eyes, but by the Spirit on you. So they label you too intense, too serious, too quiet, too spiritual, too different. But chosen one, what they call too much, is exactly what heaven calls authorized. And yes, you've been rejected for being real. But I'm telling you, God is about to replace rejection with recognition. Not from everybody, but from the right ones. Chosen one. Kingdom clearance is a gift. But it's also a responsibility. Because access comes with consequences. If you carry clearance, you can't live careless. You can't keep entertaining what drains you. You can't keep partnering with people who dishonor your purpose. You can't keep ignoring your intuition. Because higher clearance means your spirit reacts faster. Your consequences come quicker. Your conviction hits deeper. Some of you learned this already. You tried to go back to an old habit, and your peace disappeared instantly. You tried to entertain an old connection, and your spirit felt sick. You tried to do what everyone else was doing, and everything inside you screamed, no. Chosen one. That's not God punishing you. That's God protecting you. Because you're not cleared to live low. You're cleared to live aligned. And the higher you go, the more sensitive you become to misalignment. Chosen one. There's a difference between being blessed and being marked. Blessed means you receive. Marked means you're targeted and protected at the same time. And if your life has felt like extreme attacks for no reason, people turning on you suddenly, random spiritual heaviness, intense warfare in quiet seasons, Divine protection that makes no sense. It's because you're marked. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. The enemy attacks carriers. Carriers of glory. Carriers of authority. Carriers of answers. Carriers of deliverance. And sometimes you've wondered, why me? Because of what you're carrying. You're carrying something that would set other people free. That's why hell wants you tired. That's why hell wants you distracted. That's why hell wants you doubting. Because if you ever fully accept your clearance, you become unstoppable. Chosen one. Let me tell you what happens when you stop playing small. When you accept your clearance, you stop begging for approval. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing people who don't choose you. You stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. You stop shrinking when you're called too much. You start moving with quiet authority. You start choosing alignment over attention. You don't need to announce it. People will feel it. Your walk changes. Your speech changes. Your eyes change. Because suddenly you're not trying to be accepted. You're living as someone already accepted by heaven. And that confidence is dangerous to darkness. Chosen one. Your discernment has been increasing. You can tell what's fake. You can sense manipulation. You can smell deception. And you might think, God, why do I see so much? Because your next level requires discernment. God is not upgrading your discernment so you can judge others. He's upgrading it so you don't waste your time. So you don't bind yourself to wrong relationships. So you don't invest in dead places. So you don't miss divine instructions. Because where you're going, one wrong partnership can delay you. So God is training you to recognize misalignment quickly. That's clearance. Chosen one. This is the part that will make you emotional. Because it explains why you've been hidden. Why it felt like nobody saw you. Why it felt like your efforts weren't being rewarded. Why it felt like people passed you over. It's because God was building you in secret. So when you rise publicly, you rise with purity. Some people rise with talent, but no character, and they fall. But you've been trained in silence. You've been trained in humility. You've been trained in pain, and it builds spiritual bone in you. So when God releases you, you won't collapse under spotlight. You'll carry it, because you're not just gifted, you're cleared. Chosen one, your next elevation won't come from you doing more. It will come from you cutting more. Your next season will demand holy boundaries, because the enemy has one strategy. If he can't destroy you, he will distract you. He will send time wasters, attention traps, old connections, emotional vampires, counterfeit opportunities. And if you don't guard your assignment, you'll be busy but unfruitful. Chosen one. Learn to say no without guilt. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not everyone deserves access to your heart. Your peace is expensive. Your calling is sacred. Your clearance is real. Chosen one. This is what people don't know. At higher levels, God will tell you things early. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Some of you are about to receive divine instructions, warnings that save you, strategies that shift your finances, insight about your next move, clarity about who is real and who is not. You're going to start seeing patterns clearly. You're going to start understanding why things happened. You're going to start catching the enemy before he strikes. And it will feel like, how did I know that? Because you're cleared. Heaven trusts you with restricted information. Chosen one. The enemy doesn't fear you when you're gifted. The enemy fears you when you're activated. When you stop doubting. When you stop delaying. When you stop shrinking. When you stop surviving. When you start building. When you start speaking. When you start obeying quickly. That version of you? That version is a threat. Because that version doesn't panic. That version doesn't chase. That version doesn't beg. That version moves with authority and grace. So listen. If the warfare has been heavy, it's because your final form is close. Chosen one. Don't just hear this message. Do something with it. Here's what to do right now. Stop entertaining chaos. Stop arguing with people who want confusion. Stop reopening doors God already closed. Peace is the proof of alignment. Not for fame. Not for revenge. Not even for money first. Pray. God, align me with what you trust me for. And watch how things rearrange. Declutter your environment. Remove toxic conversations. Stop consuming what pollutes your mind. Because clarity comes to clean vessels. You don't know everyone your plans. Sometimes the greatest protection is secrecy. Chosen one. Your softness is not weakness. It's proof you're still pure. Stay kind. Stay humble. Stay teachable. That's how you keep clearance. Chosen one. I feel this strongly in the spirit. You're entering a season where your life will make sense. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you finally understand why you survived. The pain wasn't wasted. The rejection wasn't pointless. The isolation wasn't random. God was upgrading your clearance. And now, the door that wouldn't open before is opening. The people who didn't see you before will notice you. The opportunities that were delayed will start to accelerate. And you will look back and say, God, you were really preparing me. Yes. Because kingdom clearance produces kingdom outcomes. Chosen one. I need you to hear me clearly. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are not unlucky. You are not too different. You are trusted. You are covered. You are authorized. You are cleared. And the reason you've been feeling that deep inner pull is because your spirit is being called forward. So today, don't shrink. Don't apologize. Don't doubt your calling. Stand tall in the identity heaven gave you. Because only a few carry this level of kingdom clearance. And you are one of them. If this message confirmed what God has been whispering to you, type in the comments, I am cleared. And if you're ready to walk fully into your assignment, say, I accept my kingdom clearance. Chosen one. I'm proud of you for surviving what was meant to break you. Now go forward. Heaven trusts you. And the next season is already moving. Amen.